I'd like to take a second before this video starts to give everyone a quick trigger warning. There are mentions of suicide and depression in this video, and I would like to remind everyone that if you are depressed or have suicidal thoughts or thoughts of self-harm, there are people who love and care about you and are willing to help. And I am putting the number for the National Suicide Lifeline on the screen right now. If you are having any problems, I deeply encourage you to reach out and get some help. Thank you, and enjoy the video if you decide to keep watching. Walking Sam is an entity that I'm actually surprised isn't talked about more in the scary YouTube community. Walking Sam is an entity that almost looks like a giant, bony stick figure. He's incredibly tall and lanky, and his skin is taut around his bones. His head is a dark skull, and his eyes shine like dim light bulbs. He's often seen with a top hat, or even a long cloak, and sometimes even with the souls of his victims dangling off of his arms. Okay, creepy description, classic scary entity stuff, and what victims? The ones he convinced to commit suicide, of course. Walking Sam is most frequently seen in the forests of Pine Ridge Reservation in South Dakota. This reservation is unfortunately a place of extreme poverty. There's alcohol and drug abuse, there's poor water, and even poor medical assistance. It's no wonder that Walking Sam, an entity that feeds on fear and desperation and people with nowhere else to turn to, tend to be seen here. It starts with whistling in the forest. This is Walking Sam's calling card, just a whistle in the trees coming from absolutely no discernible area. If you try to find this whistling, he can hypnotize you, he can paralyze you, or he can straight up make you go insane. If you decide not to go look for the strange whistling sound, congratulations, you live a little bit longer. Soon victims begin to hear voices, and these voices are in their head, and they are degrading them, and they are telling them that they are worthless and not worth life. I can't explain to you how much I hate this. Eventually, these kids, because Walking Sam tends to target people in between the ages of 12 and 24, go into the forest and kill themselves, usually by hanging. After which, Walking Sam comes along and he collects their souls. The same souls that he hangs up on his arms as decoration. It sounds like an urban legend, doesn't it? Just something that parents will tell kids if they're being too annoying. But what shakes me to my core about this story is the evidence that supports the existence of Walking Sam. Less than 40,000 people live on the Pine Ridge Reservation. In 2015, there were 103 suicide attempts made. Luckily, only 9 of them were successful. Suicide pacts are not a rare thing to come across, but luckily the majority of them have been prevented. Videos online of how to tie a noose are shared between students as if they're talking about an after-school activity. Unlike many stories like this, where the threat is just brushed off by people of authority, the elders and adults of this reservation actively consider Walking Sam a threat. A threat and a plausible reason as to why the suicide rate has increased so much. They actively advise people to not walk the streets at night because Walking Sam is such a threat. Some people theorize that Walking Sam is a lonely soul who is collecting other souls so that they can be his friends. But dude, there are so many better ways to convince people to be your friend than having them kill themselves. There are also theories that Walking Sam could just be a physical manifestation of depression. Whether or not Walking Sam is an actual entity, which I do believe he is, or if he is just a physical manifestation of depression, the suicides that happened on this reservation were extremely real, and my heart goes out to anyone who has ever lost someone through suicide. That's going to be it for this video. I'm sorry that the topic was so much heavier, but I did feel that it needed to be talked about. You guys know the whole drill with like and comment and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. This is Madwitch signing out. Keep it spooky.